This week on the podcast, it's just us boys. Mendacii tells us all about his time with Monster Hunter, with the new Monster Hunter expansion. Now that it's been released, we've got deals of the month, and we have to answer the question: is there a new itch.io website? All of that and more in this week's episode of the podcast. Roll the intro.
Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Nice. I missed the scatting last week. I appreciate having the scatting back. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I'm your host, Danie K. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, Mr. Green Elite. I almost said Mendacii there. My bad. Green, how are you doing today?
Same thing. Same
Yeah.
thing.
What's the difference?
I'm doing okay. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm vibing and thriving. As always. Danny, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right. It's hot. I've had 4 days off of work, including the weekend, which was nice. So I'm feeling pretty good for the most part. I got some stuff, but we won't get into it here. We're also joined by the spooky and the ukuli, the Mendacii. Mendacii, how are you doing today?
Spookly as a mother, man. I've been doing nothing but taking in spookiness just left and right. I too was off today, but that's just because those damn hooligans won't stop shooting up their dang fireworks. So yeah, I couldn't get any sleep, but was checking out Silent Sea today. Caught some really awesome spooky stuff over the weekend as well. But yeah, it's been lovely. Wow, what a weekend.
Yeah, what a weekend. Guys, thanks for watching and listening to the show. If you missed it, well, I can't say if you missed any part of the show. So you guys might have noticed that this is not, in fact, happening live on Twitch. You might have missed the memo, but my internet was shitting out and I had no faith in it returning to any sort of good standing because of severe weather in the area, and that our collective ISP has experienced outages across the Midwest today. So we're just recording this, throwing it up on YouTube and on the podcast platforms. So hopefully you all enjoy. And sorry if you usually join us live. We appreciate and we love you guys, but we just didn't want to try to risk it. But yeah,
Possible thick ass derecho.
possible. Another one.
Possible.
Another one.
Another
That's
one.
what we need.
Yes.
We need one.
But yeah, you can usually find us live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time on Twitch. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. If you want to be a part of the show, you can answer the question of the week. This week, our question is, what's your go-to weapon in an RPG? Mendacii, what's your go-to weapon in an RPG?
It's so hard, man. I've been playing so much Monster Hunter. I started out with just using like two daggers, the dual blades. I now use, I think, 5 or 6 different weapons. If I had to choose and say like Dungeons and Dragons, I tend to find myself gravitating towards something like a sword and shield or spear and shield, something along those lines. Something I can form a nice, hardy shield wall with and protect the idiot next to me who's definitely going to get flanked and stabbed in the butt.
Yeah. Green, how about you?
My main experience is with MMORPGs. And with those, I usually try to go for the tank or the healer build. Especially like New World, I played a lot of Sword and Board. Just because it was a good tanky build to use. And then a giant fuck all hammer, which is awesome. But yeah, usually in that range of just sword and board or like a healing staff or something like that.
Yeah. I am pretty bad at like picking classes. Like, I'm not good enough to be DPS, so dual wielding usually never does me all that well. I I never fare well. I always feel like a bad tank. So I kind of tend to be like battle support, like buffs, not necessarily
Hmm.
healing, but like buffs seem
You're our
to.
bard.
Yeah, I bards and druids tend to be like my RPG situations. So anything that lets me uh like do battle buffs and like battle support.
But you're so important, and like everyone would fail without you. I myself just realized when I was a kid, when I was in middle school and I started getting into World of Warcraft, that's when I started tanking stuff. And I was like this big guild in Shattered Hand server, World of Warcraft's main off tank. Like I was Mr. Number Two, and I was 14, and man, was that a lot of stress for a 14-year-old child.
Got some gray hairs by the age by the age of 16.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Um so yeah, that's our question of the week this week. What's your go-to weapon in an RPG? And you will want to answer it this week if you're on YouTube. So make sure you guys answer the question of the week this week on YouTube. Make sure when you answer it, in your comment, actually start your answer with in all caps the word answer. ANSWER. All caps. And you guys will learn why. Also, by the way, I'm just going to say this like right now. We are celebrating 4 years as a podcast.
Woo!
Woo!
I
I
have
wish I had one of those party poppers.
It doesn't feel as sweet. Doesn't feel as sweet. But you know, I want to say I appreciate all of you for watching and listening and helping me make the show what it is. I want to thank all of my previous co-hosts, Ren, Revsven, Proc, Spectissa, everyone who's helped make the show what it is. Mendacii, Greenlee, you guys have been amazing friends and partners in this endeavor. You are appreciated always.
You gonna make me
Stop.
cry.
Stop.
But let's get into the first topic of the show. Mendacii, tell us about
Hey,
Monster
man.
Hunter Rise.
Man, I would love to. So before I got to tell you about the demo, now I get to tell you about my first like on hands experience with it. And not that I'm really surprised, but it has floored me. I'm gonna hit you with the main points. There's a whole new area for you to hunt in. There's at least one. I haven't gotten to this supposed second area yet, but this jungle that you get to go to is far different from the other maps, and it is widely varied, very fun to traverse in, so many little hiding spots and things to find. And it also is mainly built vertically, where I felt like most of the other maps were very lateral, with just a couple different levels here and there, but they were kind of sparse. This one truly feels like you're in the wild. It feels really nice. The new hub area is also really, really nice. It's Elgato, I guess, which sure, why not? Um, but the nicest thing about this hub is that it's large. Before you were basically in like a treehouse. You were in a fucking treehouse club, and it was just you and your buddies and a table to eat your food to get your buffs at before you go on a hunt, and not much else. Plus, there were loading screens to get to the blacksmith and things. So this new place is like a massive kind of like overhaul as far as quality of life goes. So it's very well received, I think, to the community as well. The NPCs here are completely new. They're interesting. They're very well designed, great voice acting work, and overall, it's easy to find what you're looking for. They've put a couple different item boxes throughout this map so that you don't have to run all the way across the hub to access your items or change your loadout or anything like that. The amount of quests that you get right off the bat is almost nauseating. There's so many quests in my quest log right now. It's insane. But the biggest thing is that you can't complain too much because you don't have to do them right away. In fact, you don't have to do most of them. It still focuses on the fact that you need to go and do starred quests, which are just quests of higher import in your quest log until you are met with an NPC telling you that there is something urgent that has come up and you need to go and take a look at it or hunt something. And then that is how you continue to move down the master rank. which is the new ranking system that has been brought in to Monster Hunter Rise. It's the same ranking that was used in World. So after you get past your high rank and you move into the DLC, you get to start with your master rank quests. Now, it's not just like a fancy new title or new number. This also allows you to start building better armor, better weapons, and fight stronger, more deadly monsters. That's kind of the best part about this is that there are the monster like the same monsters as you had to fight before in low rank and high rank, but in master rank they are tactile. They are also super duper like I don't know, I guess more deadly. They have new moves. They have their move sets are somewhat changed and varied. They are gonna like just throw things at you that you didn't expect and that you haven't had to deal with in the past. That all that aside, these new NPCs and these new quests, that means that there's a lot more new story. And the story is actually pretty interesting so far. It feels more like how much the bar was raised in World, where things started getting really screwy. Something's messing with the endemic life and so on and so forth. But in Sunbreak, there's something so incredibly powerful here that it's dragging massive monsters around and beating the snot out of them. And we haven't seen this monster in a really long time. Keep in mind, you're also in a completely different place. You've basically sailed across a large sea. And so you're in a world or area of the world that has monsters that your character and the NPCs from before haven't seen before. So as you kind of continue through your master rank quests, doing your optionals, or if you're just doing your main storyline quests, pretty soon you're going to start seeing some really terrifying monsters, whether it's Grungolm or possibly Seregios. You know, it's pretty intense. It's pretty fun, and there's plenty of stuff to do in between those, so that you can get better gear, whether it's better armor or better weapons, so you don't feel inadequately prepared by the time that you get there. The DLC also gives you a bunch of new items to kind of work with. Uh, as far as when you jump right in, whether you were a part of, say, the same uh, same group that started in Monster Hunter Rise, you do get to have like a nice little uh, plethora, like a grab bag, if you will, of just fun things to keep yourself alive, to heal others, to buff your party, so on and so forth. It's really nice. Um, just kind of helps you get started off on the right foot. That being said, if you don't have a lot of friends and you're playing through this alone, they've also added some more single player missions. But there's also single player group missions with some of the NPCs. So you can actually bring some of the NPCs with you to go on a hunt or help them hunt something as well. And it seems to kind of go down their own personal story. And you do get rewards based on like how far along you get with their story, which is pretty neat. It's very new to Monster Hunter as a whole. So it's nice to see that they're doing something a little out of the box. There's also more in-game cutscenes. So if you really enjoyed the cutscenes that were in Monster Hunter World, you get basically the same quality. So you get your in-game character interacting with NPCs or like out in the wild and stuff. And the new characters that they bring in through the story as you progress are also pretty interesting and pretty fun. There's also a lot of new changes to the base game. So there's always been wire bugs, and there's always been kind of like things to pick up on the map that are called endemic life, whether they are the spear birds, the spear bugs, or buffs to, kind of give yourself or your party with like cutterfly and so on and so forth. There's two new types of wire bugs. You have your gold and your ruby, and both help you get more drops or do more damage or more easily mount a monster so you can kind of have your little Pokemon battle out there in the wild, which is pretty nice because you can use those to a strategic benefit. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that if you had a gold and then you pick up a ruby, your gold one is lost. But each party member can grab a different one. And, if you guys decide, like, oh, you know what? We don't necessarily need to worry about doing so much damage right now. It's a capture quest. Let's just get more items from drops. So we'll just, you know, knock the snot out of them and then get a whole bunch of drops off of them. Pretty cool that you get those kinds of decisions. They've brought back a lot more in-depth monster versus monster fights, which were called turf wars in Monster Hunter World, and these will actually proc uh, a lot more often. I actually got to see a massive Rathian, a green poisonous dragon, pick up an Anjanath, which is a T-Rex sized monster, pick him up, fly, and like throw him at the ground, and then just vomit fire on him. And it was fucking awesome. And it does do a considerable amount of damage to whatever monster that you're hunting. These are somewhat scripted events, but they don't happen every time. Typically, one monster will win over another one depending on where this turf war happens in the map or depending on what you're hunting. So it's pretty cool. And it's really neat to be like front and center with all of that. It also gives you time to maybe heal up, maybe sharpen your weapon a little bit, and get ready to continue the beatdown. On top of that, there's also the eating mechanic that I briefly mentioned. They are called dango, and it's basically like soft mochi balls on chopsticks, and you kind of like you choose different flavors, if you will, of these dango, and these flavors will give you different buffs. Like maybe it's easier to stun a monster, or you take less fire damage. They brought in something called hopping dango. And so, like, whatever one you pick is like the top ingredient, there's always three that you choose. That one will be increased considerably as far as what the outcome of the status buff is. And then you have the middle one, which is going to be normal. And then the bottom one is going to be like middling a little bit. But that top one allows you to really just kind of go balls to the wall, if you will. So if you grab something like Slugger, you're going to have a much easier time doing knockout damage to monsters, and you'll do a lot more. And it is a pretty considerable chunk. So it's pretty nice that it's kind of added a mechanic that makes you think a little bit more about something that's usually just like I'm picking the same shit every time. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to get on the hunt. So it's really nice. Um, how you get around on a map has also changed quite a bit. Before, you would use what's considered called a wire bug, which is literally like an oversized lightning bug that you shoot out. You have like a silk string that you are attached to it, and you are propelled forward. You can do like sick ass maneuvers and tricks, and you can cover a lot of space with these. You also use the wire bugs to do some of your special attacks and techniques with your weapons, but you would also use them to launch yourself at a wall, and then you would hold your run button. Your character would run up or to the side, like it was for wall running. They have done away with your need to actually use a wire bug to hit a wall to start wall running, which is really cool for two different reasons. One, that means that as long as your weapon is sheathed, you could just run at a wall and your character will run up it, which allows for a lot more freedom of movement, but it also allows you to get a little bit higher, considering you don't have to wait for one of your wire bugs to refresh or reload. On top of that, if you didn't quite have enough distance, if you were jumping at a wall using two wire bugs and you propelled yourself, but you don't quite meet the ledge, holding that run button means if your character makes any contact at all to that wall, you can start running up it. So it's really nice. It makes for getting around a lot easier, a little bit more flashy, and doesn't do anything as far as game balancing goes. It's just overall quality of life increases. There's obviously new gear and new weapons. because you have new monsters, but also with Master Rank, uh, the weapons that you had maybe maxed out before now have new tiers and can be upgraded further. And that means, yes, more damage or better stats overall, but sometimes that will actually lead to newer looking weapons as well. So it's all just brand new content right there. There's decorations, which are gems that get slotted into your arms and armor, and they have rolled out a new level of strength for some of these gems, going up to level 4, and rampage decorations, which are specifically for the rampage missions that you go on, where you are literally doing a tower defense style mission as just hordes of monsters are coming at you, and maybe you're using a machine gun to tear them apart, or setting mines down, or triggering traps that nuke the monsters. I'm not making this up. This is all still the same game. It's pretty wild. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And all the monster variants, like the first thing that you fight is an explosive version of a low rank monster that you probably haven't thought of in dozens, if not hundreds of hours. The Bishaten. You've got the blood orange Bishaten, and it looks way cooler than the OG, and it uses explosive pine cones, and it does like trick maneuvers by like tossing them around as they like spin like tops and explode into you. It's a completely different fight. It works completely different from the original Bisha 10, and it has its own weapons, it has its own armor, and it's fantastic. There's other monsters who have also gotten new variants as well, and this is just the beginning for Sunbreak. They will continue to do free updates, building on the content that has released in this expansion. So I'm really excited to see like where that goes. Keep in mind that I believe that Monster Hunter Rise is still on sale. It is at least on the Switch. It's $35.69 for the deluxe edition. The regular edition is not on sale, so it's actually cheaper for you by almost by about $24 to get the deluxe edition of Rise on Nintendo Switch. Keep in mind that Sunbreak is an expansion, so you will have to spend an additional $39.99, I believe it is. Uh, can't quite put a finger on that, but yeah, I believe it's pretty close to $39.99 if you want to play Sunbreak. But obviously, it's built for the end game of Monster Hunter Rise. So if this has at all intrigued you, consider grabbing Monster Hunter Rise, play through everything that it's got there. The base game is fantastic. A lot of the changes that Sunbreak brought to the game were essentially distributed to those who just have Rise. There's changes to the base game. So if you buy it, you update it, boom, you have a lot of nice quality of life changes added. So I would highly recommend that anybody who has ever thought about playing Monster Hunter to buy this on whatever platform their choice is, and get to a point where they can play Sunbreak, because it's so worth it. It's so good, and I'm so excited to see what comes next. You guys got any questions?
No.
Hey, pretty much narrowed it down straight for me.
Yeah.
Nice. Another ace in the field goal
So close.
pocket.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it pretty good for me too. Do we just want to move on to our next topic?
Good to go.
Good to go. All right, so yeah, let's talk about some changes coming to the PlayStation emulation, or some possible changes. And we're usually not ones to talk about rumors, but these rumors surrounding PS4 and PS5's emulation are pretty tantalizing, to say the least, and I think they're pretty founded, seeing as the job listings were on legit websites. So according to sources, PlayStation has job opportunities open for software engineers that are going to, quote, fix bugs, add new features, and develop new emulators for the classics library. The job posting was found on LinkedIn. It says, quote, classic games run via emulation of legacy PlayStation platforms, As a classic engineer, you would work closely with a group of other engineers, producers, and QA teams to fix bugs and add new features and develop new emulators. End quote. So yeah, it looks like that side of the PlayStation ecosystem is going to be getting some major improvements. They're probably going to be working on some new games to get into the emulation part of the ecosystem, and I'm sure that's going to have a lot of people excited. As someone who doesn't have a dog in the race for that, I'm going to kind of recuse myself. But Mendacii, what do you think?
Like you said, these rumors are like they've got some pretty good basis, I think, for believing in them, and I also think that the emulation um, issues with PS4 and PS5 that people have literally been screaming about. We talked about this a few episodes back, where even the Sony zealots who praise the neon blue god are screaming to Sony to please fix their emulation and please fix your classics library. It is dog doo doo help, please. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think this is just evidence that they're listening and that they are actually doing something proactive as far as that issue goes, which is really nice to see. I just really hope that it's not, say, like a full, calendar year before we see some positive change.
Yeah. Green, any thoughts, opinions?
I'm glad that they're taking this approach. A lot of people were pretty not happy when it came to the plus, like the new plus tiers not having that like deep down PS1 emulation style. Like there wasn't much there. So hopefully this like evolves for those people that are looking for that.
Yeah. Um, and I'm gonna open this question up to the audience too in the YouTube comments, but I'm gonna also open it up to you guys. Um, Out of the classics that we haven't seen get emulated yet, what would you be looking for the most? Green.
I wasn't big into PS1 or like PS2 games. Like any game that I would want to see ported would be Road Rash from N64.
Mm, that's fun.
Because like I
Hmm.
already have Star Wars Racer, Episode 1 Racer on PC. But like I that's like the one game I'd like to see like be able to be played on PC. I can't find it. So
Yeah. Mendacii.
I got several for you. You got Bouncer. Bouncer was a really good beat 'em up. Very anime, very fun, very ridiculous. Shadow Hearts, both one and two. Those games were fucking phenomenal, and just really cool take on RPG combat with like a timing, almost rhythm based kind of combat system, as well as, say, oh, I don't know, the original Parasite Eve 2. Um, there's a massive list. Legend of Legaia, Legend of Dragoon. I'm sure someone probably stabbed me if I didn't say Legend of Dragoon. There's so many games that people are really aching for that are games, their hard copies go for well over 200, 300, 400, $500 if you can find them, or you have to import them and put them into software so that you could maybe play them or access English subtitles or download English subtitles for them. Like there is so much good that the emulation service on a PS4 and PS5 doing PS2 and PS1 games could do. I just 100% don't see them doing it because names like Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter, Tekken, like these names
Yeah.
are the names that they know will grip people. Seeing something like Shadow Hearts or Legend of Legaia is going to be like really awesome for me and 52 other people.
That's very
remember,
specific.
remember
Yeah.
the prototype games?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the
Prototype 1 and
prototype.
2.
Yeah, I'd love to
That
see
was like
those.
Xbox 360 and it looked like PS2.
That's what I'm saying. Like it I think you can get them on PC though.
right? I might have the first one still on Xbox, I guess, arcade.
I think I had the first one on, I want to say PlayStation,
I
or
would
maybe it
just
was
run
360.
away. I would just run away with the old ladies that are carrying the shopping bags and then turn into them and then walk around on the street like, oh, help me take my groceries in, and then kill everyone and turn into a giant tank and blast away the city. You know, just
Actually,
normal, non-unhinged shit.
Prototype 1 and 2 are all on the Steam Summer Sale.
Oh,
For
Ooh,
$4.99 on PC, and for the first one, and then the second one's $9.99,
get it.
75% off. I'm contemplating it.
Yeah.
do it.
Any
Oh,
other
pretty.
anything else with this PlayStation emulation news?
Don't take your time. The world is watching, and if you fuck this up, no one will forgive you.
Yeah, that's basically it. So I got a question for you. Have either of you ever gotten tricked into visiting a website that you did not intend to visit?
Oh, absolutely.
It was an accident, I swear. I was deleting the virus.
I thought you had actually sent me that email. I thought that if I didn't send the chain, someone would visit me in my nightmares and kill me. But also, I
I
have giant fucking thumbs, so yeah, I do be clicking stuff on accident a lot.
So
was playing RuneScape, and the pop-up just came up, and it's not my fault that they had boobies.
oh my
My
god.
weakness.
Oh my god, you legitimately just teleported me back to when I was 10. But anyways, but it's all right, right? We've all accidentally ended up on websites that are just imposters, right? Sometimes they're like ads at the top of the search results and you think it's all fine when you think you're going to Domino's and then you're going to uh
Domino's.
Domino's. Yeah, exactly. It happens all the time. And so you don't have to feel bad about it. And this is a story all about website imposters, specifically W3itch.io .io. Sorry, W3itch.io. They took it a step further and not only copied itch.io, but also started selling games of devs without their consent. So W3, which is what I'll be calling the imposter site from now on to keep everything, kosher and not confusing, described itself as a quote open market for independent game creators, but with plans to incorporate sorry, I'm going to end the quote there, but with plans to incorporate NFTs, cryptocurrency payments, and other Web3 technologies. It's just a platform has made its own stance on NFTs and crypto pretty clear, claiming that they are just a scam earlier this year. So this imposter site certainly seems that it is not only trying to use Itch's name, but trying to get what little crossover probably exists for itch.io customers and for the NFT market. I'm not sure how big of an overlap there is there, but I'm sure there's some. But the infringement gets worse, right? Not only is the name and similar business models seemingly meant to confuse consumers, W3 devs also stole the UI and code from Itch itself. Quote, you have stolen the UI of itch.io, blatantly ripping it off, in addition to using our name directly in your project. As far as I'm concerned, this is a scam to trick people by using itch.io's established brand on an unrelated project for your own profit, Itch founder Leif Cochran said. He also reported the issue on the GitHub page for W3. Quote, additionally, upon going through the content of your platform, it appears that you have stolen many games for re-upload without the consent of creators of those games. For the sake of respecting creators and their work, I request that you remove stolen content from your platform, end quote. It was also later that the W3 devs admitted to using CSS files from Itch, but they went on to say in a tweet, quote, if you find that your content has been stolen, please leave a comment under this tweet or give me a DM and we'll contact its uploader to coordinate with him/her to remove these contents. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the community for the offense we caused. So that's basically where the story ends. I don't know how many devs have come forward and said, hey, someone's stealing my shit. Or the other question I had is, who is actually uploading games to the site? Is it the W3 developers, or is it their shady friends who are stealing shit? That's a big question I have. Because if it is in fact if they are just saying, hey, other people are uploading these games to the site that nobody's fucking heard of, and only are accidentally getting onto, it would make sense to me if the W3 devs were in fact creating listings with the .exe files that could be easily found on itch.io's platform, and then uploading them to their own platform to make it appear more like itch and also populate it with things to try to generate revenue. So how did those stolen games get up there? Is it people pirating, or is it the W3 devs who are stealing content, or even more content? I have a personal theory that it would be the W3 devs, because they want to make the site look as much like itch as possible and also make it look like there's actually content on the site. But that's just me. I haven't substantiated that. That's just my personal theory as to what's happening. So yeah, for now, I don't know when we'll see this site either get taken down or changed to not be so infringing on multiple people's copyrights, but hopefully this scummy site changes its ways pretty quick and there's a lesson learned here. But it's always a good reminder. Yeah, Green?
I was gonna say, that there's intent there. Like
Yeah.
they're intending to be that way because like it's literally in the name.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you weren't trying to be like itch.io, you wouldn't have it as itch.io with a few
W3.
different changes. You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
This is completely yeah, intended to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this potentially a worse rip than Streamlabs OBS?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's more than just the name now, boys.
Yeah. This, at least with like the Streamlabs OBS as itself, as an open piece of software, right, would be, it's scummy of them to not change the name of their fork to reflect that there is no affiliation between the Streamlabs team and the OBS team, and that that Streamlabs is only using the OBS as a base for their fork of the software, of the open source software. This was wholesale ripping off the website and then somehow having content on there that's being stolen and uploaded to it. Again, however that happened is a whole ass question. But yeah, it seems like this is very intentional, and I'm glad it got caught. And it's always a good reminder to always be careful with searches, that sometimes people can be really good of counterfeiting their way into your wallet. They really can be. So just, take an extra second. Make sure that what you're actually seeing is a capital I instead of an L. Make sure that it's a 0 and not, or I'm sorry, make sure it's an O and not a 0. Take that extra second. Really read the URLs and such. Make sure that you don't, if you are clicking on the first link that shows up in the results, that it doesn't say ad underneath it. That's one way they'll get you. But I want to get your guys' opinion. Green, did you want to expand on any of your thoughts there?
I pretty much said my piece. Like it's that this is a facetious. There's definitely intent there that they're trying to be this way. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're being shady.
Mendacii, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been targeted by, say, like spam emails. I think my favorite one ever was an email from Netflix, like an eye with like the little tail for that. That was something, man. I was like, man, these guys are getting bold. But yeah, there's literally only one intent here. This is a scam. This is trying to mess with you. And that Twitter message that they wrote, like, "Oh, try to get a hold of us," like, bullshit, bullshit. You can't come back from this, or at least we shouldn't let them come back from this.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what names have been attached to this project and if those names will ever work again. It's a great question.
Hopefully not.
Y- I don't want to say hopefully not. I want to say maybe this is just a bunch of uh, kids who were not guided well by people who should have, maybe known better, told them better. Maybe these should have been some NFT kids who needed a hard lesson. You know,
Right.
hopefully
Yeah, I
that's
guess I'm vindictive. I'm vindictive. I'll hold a grudge. I'll remember. I got that elephant brain. Don't come knocking. I ain't answering the door.
He's also got those elephant nuts. You should
That's true. That's
I've seen
true.
them.
Tuck them in my socks.
Yep. Anything else with the itch.io imposters?
Nah, man. Nah.
Okay. Well, let's go on ahead and talk deals of the month.
Deals of the month.
Deals of the month. Deals of the month. Deals of the month.
Dudes.
Our
Deals,
new
deals, deals, deals.
Add some claps in there too.
I say, did you just rip off the Bill Nye the Science Guy
No,
theme?
would never do that, Danny. Who would do such a thing?
Who would do such a thing?
I am Bob, the science dude. Thank you very much.
No copyright infringement here. You also can't forget the Christianized version of it. Paul, the creationist guy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes. Anyways, let's talk about deals of the month. So let's start out with Twitch. And also, this is a good time to mention that Amazon Prime Day is coming up. So if you follow us on Twitter, you guys will see some deals that we find there and can help support the show with some of our affiliate links. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. Mr. Greenlee, what is that?
That is at Next Nothing PC.
Excellent. So lots of games with Prime. These all end in 8 days. So if you're watching this the day it comes out, you have 7 or 8 days to collect these. Manual Samuel, The Dark Side Detective, Rain World, Road Trip, Gone Viral, Glana Sisters, Twisted Dreams, Metal Slug 2, Adling Adventures, The Crow's Eyes, Metal Unit, 8 Doors, Aram's Afterlife Adventure, Clouds and Sheep 2, Hugh, The Metronomicon, 10-Second Ninja X, Serial Cleaner, and there's a few more that end in 8 days. There's just so many that end in 8 days that it's definitely worth checking out. If you have Twitch Prime, go on ahead and claim those for free. Ending in
Especially
20...
Hugh. Hugh's a really good one.
Yeah. Ending in 26 days, Maniac Mansion, Suzerain, Fishing North Atlantic, and Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark. Any of those like tickle your guys' testicles? Any of those like sound interesting to you?
Maybe if it was Maniac Manson. I want to know what that guy. I want to know what that guy's thinking about.
Hey, yeah, wow, yeah. The Dune Buggy.
I was gonna say he's thinking about dune buggies and that one time he hung out with was it a Beach Boy?
Yeah, the worst Beach Boy too.
The worst Beach Boy. Don't forget also, if you have an Amazon account and link to Twitch, which is how you get your Twitch Prime games, you can also get 1 free sub on Twitch a month and can use that on any streamer of your choice. So maybe go do that on Mendacii and Mr. Greenlee.
Aw.
From Twitch to Humble now for 1 more day. So if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this later in the week, it might be a little too late for you here. But you can take part in the DRM Freedom Sale up to 90% off on select titles that are DRM free. Some of the games on the sale include Metro 2033 and Last Light, Saints Row 4, Hotline Miami, and Honey Pop. We will have a link in the description of this episode. For the humble choice this month, you can get Deep Rock Galactic, Necromunda Hired Gun, Legion TD2, Legend of the Keepers, Lawn Mowing Simulator. Lawn Mowing Simulator. I don't think I said
I
that
want to
right.
mow yawns.
I want to mow yawns. Banners of Ruin, Yes, Your Grace, Trudograd, and Atom RPG. Those are all free. Well, not free. Those are all included in this month humble choice subscription. Again, if you're interested in that, link will be in the description. On to Epic Games. Right now, you can get Gene Forge 1, Mutagen, Hood, Outlaws and Legends, Eratus, Lord of the Dead, and those all end on July 7th. Starting on July 7th and through July 14th, you can get Ancient Enemy and Killing Floor 2.
Ooh.
Yes. Who's got PlayStation?
Me, I do. I got it.
Let's see here. Well, honestly, the July monthly games look kind of fun. You've got Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time. That's the title. That's for the PS5 and PS4. We've got the PS4 version of the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan, which I've heard is like probably the first or second best of the Dark Pictures anthology. So if you want some spooks, grab that. And then something called Arcadegeddon. I have no idea anything about that, but if you like the Osmosis Jones, that's the vibe I'm getting. If you just want some deals, they've got their mid-year sale with some titles going up and over 75% off. Just some big favorites here. We've got Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That's 50% off at $29.99. And then you know, maybe you want to play Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's not too bad. It's $47.99, so 20% discount. Otherwise, lots of Sims, lots of Call of Duty, every Assassin's Creed game that's ever been made, every Far Cry. Deathloop is on sale for 60% off at $31.99. Yeah, there's again always like 650 games on sale, including Witcher 3, the complete edition for $9.99. You can always grab that. So yeah, give it a look see.
Excellent. What's coming up on Xbox?
Oh boy, golly, it's a good year, a good month for Xbox. Starting today, you get Last Call BBS for PC, and then Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 on
That's really
console,
good.
cloud, and PC. So the Yakuzas are all on the Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 are all on console, cloud, and PC, and then Last Call is on just PC for Game Pass. On July 7th, you'll be able to get a DJ Max Respect V and Match Point Tennis Champions, and also Road 96 for console, cloud, and PC. On July 14th, we'll get Escape Academy, console, cloud, and PC, My Friend Peppa Pig for console, cloud, PC, Overwhelm for PC, and then we get Paw Patrol the movie, Adventure City Calls for
Hell
cloud,
yeah.
cloud, console, and PC.
Hell
And also,
yeah.
Power Wash Simulator for cloud, console, and PC. So if you're into Peppa Pig and Paw Patrol, this is your month. Power Wash Simulator, a lot of people really seem to like that. And then, of course, the Yakuzas, if you're a Yakuza fan. Like
So
Mendacii
good.
over here. He
0,
be
1, and
loving-
2. So good. They look so great. They play so great. They're so hilarious and fun and badass and sad. It's so good. Like there's zero reason literally anyone in the whole wide world should ever feel like, no, I don't like that. I don't want to play that. It's so
Yeah.
good.
So
Go play it.
that's deals of the month this month.
Except for
That's-
Nintendo actually.
Don't forget
is-
Nintendo.
Oh, does Nintendo actually have a sale?
Nintendo actually fucking came through. Straight up. It's very surprising. So you got Super Mario Odyssey for 30% off. That's $41.99. I'm gonna just hit the big ones here. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for $41.99. Super Mario Maker 2 for $41.99. Like a lot of these are 30% off. Then you've got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, 30% off at $41.99. I said this earlier, I'm going to say it again. Monster Hunter Rises Deluxe Edition that comes with some extra cosmetics and stuff, $35.69. That's 49% off. Paper Mario The Origami King, 30% off at $41.99. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, 30% off, $41.99. If you're a fan of the Persona games, if you beat Persona 5 and you want to know what happens afterwards, you can play Persona 5 Strikers. That's on sale for $29.99. That's half off. Dragon Quest 11 is 30% off at $34.99. Just Dance, if those are your shtick, 60% off. It's 20 bucks. Astral Chain by Platinum Games, $41.99. Bravely Default, $41.99. Tetris Effect, that's a really awesome Tetris game, actually. It's very beautiful, $23.99. Shin Megami Tensei 5, $41.99. We actually just talked about that a few episodes back with Mina Roll. There is actually, honestly, a ton of really awesome games on sale for the Switch, including No More Heroes 3. I mean, the list is actually pretty big. You should go check it out. I don't know why.
You have to do it fast too, because it
Yeah,
ends on July 6th at
6.
11:59 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
So
So
tomorrow, for
at,
anyone who's
I guess,
watching today.
9:59. So you have to go check it out. I don't know why they decided to just do that. That's like what, 2 weeks? It went from June 23rd to July 6th.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably the best sale that Nintendo has had in a very, very long time. So if you are a fan of Mario games or platformers like Donkey Kong or Paper Mario, anything like that, I urge you, if you want to get some life out of your Switch, now's the chance.
Excellent. Anything else sales wise?
I don't think so.
And don't
Steam
forget,
summer sales are gone.
yeah, Steam
Yeah.
Summer Sale still going. And don't forget to check out our Twitter and Facebook, because we do share sales when we see them. So it's just another way for you guys to keep up to date with what's going on. Do we want to wrap up the show?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So before we wrap up the show, we do have an announcement for you guys. We are going to be doing 2 giveaways every episode this month. The first giveaway is by answering the question of the week in the YouTube comments. So go on ahead and answer the question of the week this week, which is, what's your go-to weapon in an RPG? And make sure, so we can do some easy searching later on, to start your answer with an all caps ANSWER, and then your answer to the question of the week, and you'll be automatically selected, or you'll be automatically entered to win and randomly selected at the start of next week's show. And then our other giveaway will be on social media through Gleam. So another reason to follow the Twitter and the Facebook, so you can get entered to win there. And both winners will be announced next week when we do the question of the week. And we'll be doing that all month.
Oh.
Green Elite, what's coming up on your
Not
channel?
giving stuff away.
Yeah.
I've been hammering Escape from Tarkov a lot lately. So if my internet, God willing, actually works, I will be playing Tarkov, and then a little bit of Hunt Showdown, because I still love that game. That game is everything. It is the essence of life. So yeah, you can catch that all on twitch.tv/Mr. Greenleet, and then also all my other socials. If I'm on a platform, it's all Mr. Greenleet. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all the fancies.
Mendacii.
Hello.
Yeah, if you could guess, I'm going to be playing lots of Monster Hunter Sunbreak, and we usually have a community slot open. So if you want to play with me and 2 of my very seasoned hunter friends, you're more than welcome to do so. We play on Switch. and that's usually every Saturday. But we might also play on a Thursday or a Friday if we're feeling it. You might even see us play some Killing Floor 2 here and there. Otherwise, I'm still continuing my anime travels through Tales of Arise, which has just been absolutely splendid. That's over at twitch.tv/Mendacii, Mendacii, and same name over on at only Mendacii. So yeah, if you want to see what I get up to or get other movie recommendations from me, follow me over there.
Excellent. Coming up for me, hopefully this weekend I'll be able to do some streaming, probably do some Hunt Showdown, and check out some indie games. But I am still working on some projects behind the scenes, and we will be launching those very, very soon. And yeah, if you guys want to keep up with me, you can find me on Twitter at Daniecaa, Daniecaae. You can also check out the second YouTube channel, Daniecaa Highlights and Streams. Otherwise, I think that's going to be it. Right? I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to wrap us up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks for watching and listening. Your time with us is always appreciated. And of course, we're not just interested in your time. We also want to hear your opinions. So let us know anything that you, any thoughts or opinions you have on what we talked about today, including the question of the week. Don't forget about the giveaways as well. If you missed... I'm sorry. Sorry we weren't live this week. So you guys couldn't miss any part of the show live. But you guys can always find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. We're usually live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, but, you know, internet not with holding. If you like what we do and want to help support the show, drop a like and subscribe and ring that bell. That does really help us out a ton on YouTube. Don't forget the giveaways this week. If you want to get entered, just make sure you comment on our video answering the question of the week, and make sure you start your comment with the word answer in all caps. Also follow our Twitter and Facebook so you can learn more on how to enter those giveaways there. Until next week, stay safe, stay healthy, keep fighting the good fights, and we'll talk to you guys again next week. Goodbye!
Bye-bye.
I love you.